weeks after FC Start's dramatic triumph over the Germans passed quietly in Kiev, almost too quietly inside the number 3 bakery, until one afternoon the answer arrived.
Players are called one by one. They're met by the Gestapo. This was a deliberate targeting of the players who had humiliated the Germans.
The players were interrogated for days.
They threw us in separate cells. We were tortured and interrogated. And they tried to get us to confess that we were in the city for ulterior reasons.
After the interrogations, the players were sent to the infamous Sirets concentration camp outside the city. For half a year, the men toiled away at the camp, virtually starving while doing hours upon hours of manual labor, cheating death as long as they could.
On the morning of February 24th, the whole camp is mustered. The commandant tells them that there has been an act of sabotage, and in retaliation for this, every third prisoner is going to be executed.
A long row of prisoners, including some members of FC Start, stood together, their lives hanging on a horrific thread of randomness.
The first person they stop at is Klemenko, who is shot and hits the ground. Kuzmenko is an enormous, physically strong man, and he knows what's going to happen, and ultimately they have to knock him down and shoot him. Footsteps continue, and Truzovic is standing there. He hears them pausing, and he knows what's going to happen.
7 months after defeating the Nazis, Nikolai Trusevich, 34 years of age, was one of 3 members of his team to die that morning, of a single gunshot to the head. He was wearing the only shirt he owned, his FC Start jersey. Today, this monument stands inside the gates of Dynamo's Stadium in Kiev, honoring the men of FC Start who died in the winter of 1943. Almost 70 years have passed since their story unfolded and turned into legend. At times, the tale has been embellished, details added and subtracted unnecessarily, because what really happened stands on its own as an enduring chronicle of brilliance amid evil, courage amid terror.
Remember them as real heroes. Real men who may not have had weapons, but they won nonetheless. They won so that the people could see that even in those conditions, the Nazis could be defeated.
It is simply about a team standing for all that's good about human virtue, and a team making an enormous sacrifice. They show what sport can be at its best.
On these streets, in these woods, under this sky, it was a group of soccer players who redefined the virtues of triumph in a time of utter hopelessness. What do you tell the people of Kiev? Tell them that when all else was lost,